the second reading of the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 39 of 2023, the Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill of 2025, and the Kenya Institute of Primate Research Bill of 2024. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, debate will be undertaken on the following motions, some of which are listed in today's order paper. 1, consideration of the fourth generation revenue sharing formula for counties, which you made a communication on yesterday. 2 is consideration of Senate amendments to the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023, and resultant committee of the whole House. 3 is consideration of the performance audit report on the provision of services to persons with disabilities by the National Council for Persons with Disabilities. And 4, consideration of comprehensive economic partnership agreement between the Republic of Kenya and the United Arab Emirates. Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 44A, 5 and 6, I wish to convey that the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, as you had directed, is scheduled to appear before the House on the afternoon of Wednesday, 25th June 2025 to respond to the following concerns raised by members regarding the circumstances surrounding the death of Mr. Albert Ojwang. In addition, the Cabinet Secretary will respond to the following questions. Question number 058 of 2025 by the member for Ariada, the Honorable Otiende Amolo MP, regarding police brutality against peaceful protesters and unarmed civilians. 2, question number 059 of 2025 by the member for Nairobi County, the Honorable Esther Passaris MP, regarding the implementation of the body-worn cameras in the police force. And 3, question number 060 of 2025 by the member for Suba North, Honorable Millie Odhiambo Mabaona MP, regarding the deaths of persons while in police custody. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, I wish to remind members that the House is scheduled to proceed for a short recess next week. As such, members should note that the House may be required to sit longer or have additional sittings on some days to conclude priority business before proceeding on recess at the end of that week. Finally, Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee shall reconvene again on Tuesday, 24th June 2025 to schedule business for the rest of the week. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Next order.
Order number 13, motion, approval of the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025.
Chair, Budget and Appropriations.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the report of the Mediation Committee on Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 10 of 2025. Honorable Speaker, the committee was constituted by the National Assembly, by the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Speaker of the Senate, pursuant to Standing Orders 149 of the National Assembly and Standing Order 166 of the Senate. Honorable Speaker, the committee was established to facilitate consensus between both the houses on the Division of Revenue Bill 2025. Honorable Speaker, our primary role was to reconcile the differences that had arisen between the National Assembly and the Senate on the proposed allocation of revenue between the national and county governments. Honorable Speaker, I would like to inform members that the National Assembly had proposed to allocate equitable share to counties of 405.1 billion, while the Senate had proposed to allocate 465 billion to counties, as equitable share to counties. Honorable Speaker, in the course of our mediation, we held a total of 4 meetings. And Honorable Speaker, the process of mediation requires extensive consultations. And to date, I would like to thank the various stakeholders who engaged us in the process of arriving at the mediated figure. And I want to thank the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Speaker, because at some stage we had to engage the presidency to help us iron out some of the challenges that we had in the process. Also, I would like to thank the National Treasury, because we also had to talk to National Treasury so that we could be able to arrive at a figure that was agreeable to both the parties. Honorable Speaker, in the process of mediation, we learned so many things. Honorable Speaker, county governments are doing tremendous programs. And there are so many programs that counties are doing that are not, that most of our members are not aware of. And many times, Honorable Speaker, you'd find that most of us may be castigating counties and saying counties are not making very good progress. I would like to confirm to this House, Honorable Speaker, that we realize that counties are doing so much, especially in the area of facilitating government program, national government program, like in the health sector. Many counties have already onboarded so many people into the SHA programs. And they are working very hard to ensure that some of these programs are successful. Honorable Speaker, also there are programs that the national government and county governments are engaged in partnership, some of which involve construction of CAIPs, County Aggregation and Industrial Parks. Most counties, Honorable Speaker, have been able to finish some of those programs. Honorable Speaker, there are also programs involving agriculture that counties are engaging in. Many counties are also succeeding in doing a lot of infrastructure like tarmacking of roads. So, Honorable Speaker, the amounts of money we allocate to counties is not in vain, Honorable Speaker. And I want to confirm that both the President and this House are committed to devolution. And to see that the national government is committed to devolution is to see that, Honorable Speaker, we were able to arrive at a figure which is historical, Honorable Speaker. This is a historical figure, Honorable Speaker, because we were able to move through the mediation process from a figure of 405 billion to a figure of 415 billion, Honorable Speaker. That is an increase of about 10 billion that we were able to realize. Honorable Speaker, this shows that this House and the national government are both committed to devolution. I want to confirm to members of the Orange Democratic Movement Party that this figure that has been agreed upon between the National Assembly and the Senate is very, very progressive. And I would like to ask them to accept this figure because this is a step in the right direction to ensuring that ultimately devolution succeeds. Honorable Speaker, I would like to say that when we were in the process of mediation, there are some issues that came up. One of the issues that came up, Honorable Speaker, is that there are what we call non-discretionary expenditures. These are expenditures that are due to counties not because of their own liking, but because of some of the programs they are doing in consultation with the national government. Mr. Speaker, these expenditures, non-discretionary expenditures, they total to about 34 billion shillings. And, Honorable Speaker, counties have been grappling with how to realize resources to fund these programs. That is the reason, Honorable Speaker, that we decided in our mediation process that we need to enhance the share of allocation to counties by about 27 billion, Honorable Speaker, because this financial year, you remember that the share of allocation to counties is 387 billion. But we were able to add a total of about 27 billion to help these counties be able to fund what we call non-discretionary expenditures. Honorable Speaker, some of these expenditures include housing levy deductions. Honorable Speaker, when the housing levy was introduced, it was not anticipated that counties would be able to incur additional expenditures courtesy of this law. Honorable Speaker, these deductions annually is about 4.1 billion. Honorable Speaker, another non-discretionary expenditure which we realize counties have to bear involve enhanced contribution to NSSF, courtesy of the law that we passed here, increasing allocations to NSSF, contributions to NSSF. Honorable Speaker, there are matching allocations to CAIPs, matching allocations to CHPs. Honorable Speaker, all these, expenditures require that we be able to increase our allocations to counties. So, Honorable Speaker, I would like to say that, the process went on very well. We held 4 successful mediation meetings, and ultimately we came to a conclusion that this amount of money is going to help our countries to advance and to prosper. And therefore, I would like to urge members of this House to support this report to allow us adopt it and be able to move forward. Honorable Speaker, with those few remarks, I would like to beg to move and call upon my able Vice Chairman, the Honorable Dr. Pukose, to second.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand to second the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill and want to join my chair in thanking the honorable members from the National Assembly who are in that mediation team, including my neighbor here, Honorable GK, Honorable Naisula Lesuta. We also had Honorable Mishi, Sam, the women rep for Mombasa, and others who are not here now. Honorable Speaker, we also want to thank the Senate team led by Senator Roper for the understanding at the negotiation and agreeing on the mediated figure of 410 billion. Honorable Speaker, this is money that is going to the 47 counties. And once this money has gone to the counties, the law states that the money that has already been appropriated to the counties, it cannot be reduced, despite the fact that maybe the collections might not be, by a KRA, might not reach the target. And that means the national government will bear responsibility. So, putting that into consideration, we want to urge the counties that once you've gotten this money, let's use the money judiciously, let's the money go into the projects for which they are meant to. Because, Honorable Speaker, whenever you visit counties, some counties like I think Elgeyo Marakwet, Taita Taveta, they've not been able to realize serious development because they are saying with this current formula, they are not able to do any development. But after this mediation, with the new formula now from the CRA and approved by the Senate and which has been forwarded to this House, what it means is that all the 12 counties which were not able to realize meaningful development will now be able to at least do some development. And that, I think, is a move forward, because whenever you visit counties, what you are only able to see in most cases is what CDF has done. You will be able to see schools that have been built by CDF. You will be able to see administrative units, assistant chiefs, SEC, DCC's offices, which have been put, police stations, DCI offices, and all that. But you are not able to see something tangible from the county governments. But we also want to urge the Senate to also provide proper oversight to the counties, because more often, I think there is some bit of laxity in terms of the oversight. But yesterday, when I saw the proceedings in the Senate by Senator Sifuna on oversight to my county of Trans Nzoia, I think it made me happy, because the Senator Kachwang, not the TJ, the other Kachwang, who is the chair of the PAC in the Senate, I think he put my governor into his toes. And I hope that my governor, Mutembei, will be able to appropriately respond to those questions. And if he can't, then the Wananchi will be there to deal with him, including myself. So this money that is going to counties must be used for the county functions. Honorable Speaker, when you look at even the budget of the national government, there is 13 billion for primary health care, which is money that is appropriated from the national government. But surprisingly, you go to the counties, many of the other health facilities, level 2, level 3, level 4, are not providing the necessary services. We've also recapitalized KEMSA to a tune of 1.5 billion, which means KEMSA should be able to now supply enough medicines to all our health facilities. And therefore, it calls upon the counties to make sure that the health facilities are properly equipped with health products and technologies, and they are able to make sure that Mwananchi visits facility and gets the services. Honorable Speaker, when you look at the number of the following functions, the major is health, agriculture, and I think, and water. but which county government should be able to make sure that this money that is being sent to the counties at least are able to provide the minimum services that wananchi are able to reap from the devolution. Because when our elders met in Bomas and came up with this issue of devolution, they meant services going closer to wananchi. But what has happened? We've devolved corruption. Because you go to the counties and you look at the level of opulence exhibited by the county government, governors, even some governors going with seats to meetings. I think that's not what we wanted. And funerals, that is not what we wanted. Governors hiring coons to move around with coons in their meetings, that is not what we wanted. So, Honorable Speaker, I think I want to applaud the National Assembly Committee that mediated this together with the Senate, and hope that the House will be able to support so that we can have resources being appropriated to the counties, and we have each county at least having meaningful development. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, order. Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that pursuant to the provisions of Article 113(2) of the Constitution and Standing Order 153, this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 18th June 2025, and approves the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025. Yes, Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill. Honorable Speaker, 415 billion is not the only money going to counties, because that's just the shareable revenue that counties are getting. There is additional county allocations, a further 55 billion shillings. So when we speak about the money going to our counties this coming financial year, should be that 415 plus the 55, which is a whopping 470 billion shillings. 5 billion shillings above the 465 that our good senators had sought in the Council of Governors. And over and above that, we have close to another 10 billion shillings, about 9.6 billion, through the Equalization Fund that is going again to counties. Honorable Speaker, last evening I listened to the contribution by Honorable Mwalimu Moroto. And, you know, he usually gets very agitated in the evening, I think on account of age.
The order, Majority Leader. There is no scientific evidence that old people get agitated in the evening.
You know, Mwalimu Moroto, Mr. Speaker, yes, there is no scientific explanation, but over the years that I have known him, he usually will come in the evening very agitated. Yes. I have never figured out for what reason. But his agitation notwithstanding, Honorable Speaker, he was very passionate about Equalization Fund money and pleading that this money should have been implemented through constituencies, whether through a model like NGCDF or whichever other model, because most of that money, and I could identify with what Honorable Moroto was saying, because I have been to his county, and they are lagging behind like many other counties. And this fund was meant to uplift those counties that were lagging behind others. But unfortunately, with devolution, the more money that goes to a county, I think the more corruption there is in that county, and the more backward that county continues to be. I don't know why, Honorable Speaker. Because if you look at the counties that benefit with the highest amounts, corruption is also very rampant, and I don't want to name any particular county, Honorable Speaker. And also, Honorable Speaker, the status in which those counties were at the advent of devolution, most of them are still in the same state. So you have to ask yourself, where is all this money going to, Honorable Speaker? When I listen to the Vice Chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee speak and allude to some counties, like his county in Trans Nzoia, I couldn't help but imagine these are the same governors who, when they are accused of corruption and EACC summons them to appear before them or they are arrested, they mobilize goons to even ban EACC and police cars on account of being asked to be accountable of the money. I'm saying this, Honorable Speaker, because these accounting officers in county governments, our governors, must be accountable of this money that is being appropriated to counties, Honorable Speaker. It is true, Honorable Speaker, that many Kenyans are still suffering without medication in their county hospitals. At a time, hundreds of billions are being devolved every year to our county governments, Honorable Speaker. I know we just come from a very painful journey on RMLF. Honorable Speaker, walk to any county in this country. MCAs say it openly that this RMLF money is the only money we would get to eat. Therefore, when we say here that when governors get RMLF money, Honorable Speaker, and I know we are about to do legislation around the issues that the court made a decision on, we must be emphatic and give conditions that will ensure RMLF money goes specifically to doing roads and not just doing maram roads. They must tarmac roads. Yes. We must conditionalize that money to ensure that, because there is no county in this country without a shopping center, without some sort of urban population, that at least this money goes to tarmac roads in those urban centers, or if they are doing in rural roads, roads already identified in work plans by the Kenya Roads Board, so that we stem the abuse of all these monies that are going to the counties. Because we can't give 415 billion in shareable revenue. It is all stolen. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the Comptroller of Budgets reports, you'll be shocked. The percentage of money going to development from this shareable revenue. And why, Honorable Speaker? Because if I am elected as a governor today, I will find ward administrators, sub-county administrators, I don't know, village liaison officers, who are on permanent and pensionable terms employed by your predecessor. Then a new governor comes into office, they recruit their own kin and their own friends and campaigners into the same permanent and pensionable jobs. Then they start crying all over, oh, we have no money for development. You have no money for development because you have failed in governance. You don't have to employ every other person who campaigned for you. Grow the economies in the counties, and your supporters and those who campaign for you will be able to get jobs when economies in your counties are growing, when roads are functional, when hospitals are functional. Those economies will thrive, and all your supporters and your citizens in your counties will have job opportunities that will come their way. Therefore, with those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, allow me to support with that caution, Honorable Speaker, that when we come to do the law, and I hope the chair of the Roads Committee is listening, if he's still here, the Honorable GK is here, that we must conditionalize that money for RMLF. Just like when we do the additional county allocations, that money comes with conditions, even this one for RMLF must come with. And the cardinal condition on shareable revenue must be accountability and transparency in how this money is utilized at the county level. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to support.
Yes, Farah, I'll give you just the question.
Speaker, while I also want to put my voice in supporting this mediated version of the Revenue Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, I also want to add my voice into the rampant corruption that is so prevalent in our country right now. You wonder what is happening to the law and order in the country here. We have equalization fund, which was supposed to be used to help the counties that were left behind from the colonial days, who were marginalized systematically. That equalization fund right now, the county governments want to lay their hands on that. And before we could even go far, in one constituency, the governor has the audacity to call the councillor, the MCAs, and tell them, you people have been disturbing me, you want to put a motion of impeachment on me, you can take that one for your ward. 23 million, 20 million, 15, literally parceling it out and telling them that is where you're going to make money. The idea is that these MCAs would go there. I don't know if they're going to accept it. A few of them have called me and they were disgusted by it. And just create some things like a small pans out there out of nowhere without proper bill of quantities there, and they take the money. Whereas I had indicated myself before that we need that money to put in an infrastructure, help the entire rural area of my constituency get the national grid. And by the way, REREC has got the materials. All they need to do is for the labor itself. That place would have lit up the entire constituency. But when you put that in the hands of governors, then what happens? Only labor and transport is what was supposed, that money, 200 million can lit up my entire constituency, help with labor and transport, and that's it. Because the materials are there with REREC. But when you allow the county, I don't know why even the executive is scared of the county governments. Why are they allowed to do the kind of corruption they're doing, which is rampant, which is unbridled? Unbridled, literally. It's a runaway, amok, berserk. I think that's where, somebody told me the other day, old age and death comes through the legs. When you get older, you begin losing the strength of your own feet themselves, and basically the muscles don't work. Why is this country's atrophy starting from the county governments and from governors that are crooked, that have treated the entire resources as personal property? And we have an executive here. And this message goes straight to the executive and all the agencies that are supposed to work with that, who are supposed to make sure that they do the needful in the maintenance of law and order and protect the national resources for the benefits of Kenyans. For the benefits of Kenyans. Because when these things are happening, and they're happening in the manner in which they're happening, with almost zero public participation, and people are making money out of that, and we allow it to happen. We allow hundreds of billions of Kenya shillings to get wasted. And for governors to have their vehicles, take choppers, take planes, and everything else, and literally turn this into a private property. Mr. Speaker, I think we have a problem in this country, and this house being a legislative house, a lawmaking house, that has that express ability to do that, and the constitutional mandate to do that, we better begin dealing with these things very well, and saying that we are not going to pass any of these appropriations before certain things are put in place. You remember when we were trying to negotiate the RMLF, before the courts pronounced themselves into that, because the governors were the ones who were pushing for these things, and they're also coming for the CDF. And the whole idea of coming for all those things is not to put these things in the hands of an entity, which can, another authority, for the benefits of the people. They just want to steal it. They're doing that with the donor money also. Mr. Speaker, I want to put my voice on this, but at the same time say that we have a problem in the country. We're talking about corruption in the country. And the same corrupt guys are the ones who seem to have the ear and the support of the local people out there. Because Parliament has failed to do its work, National Assembly has failed to do its work, the executive has failed to do its work, the government, the appropriate authorities on the maintenance of law and order to protect the national resources are not doing their work, we have a problem. We have a problem of resources in the country. We have a problem of poverty, rampant poverty. The amount of money that goes out there for devolution should be able to change the lives of the people out there. Change the lives of the people. The students, absolutely, absolutely. And if the Senate is going to transform itself into a body whenever an impeachment is brought for them, then governors are going around dishing money. And governors go out there and try and influence the MCAs in their own counties by sending in elders and everybody there and saying our government is now coming down. I mean, these things are bad. The common man has got to be educated. There has to be sufficient civic education to tell them that every coin has got to be accounted for. At the national level, at the county level, at all levels, including ourselves at our own CDF levels. We are not managing the CDF is managed by a board, but it's got to be, everything has got to become accountable, Mr. Speaker. We have a nation, we have resources, and the resources is not getting down to the people. The people are poor. The Kenyans are suffering. Students are suffering everywhere. Because the little we have for what we call bursary is not sufficient. And the county governments are not putting money into that. They're putting money into building walls and building what you call white elephant projects. And they are the contractors themselves. The governors are the contractors themselves. And consultancies. And God knows what. Fetes and dramas and everything else. So, Mr. Speaker, this House has got to rise up to the occasion. Members of Parliament must take the responsibility of protecting the national resources from everybody who's going to misuse them. If we don't, then we become complicit in that. We become part of the corruption. We become part of the rot. And we can see the kind of problems that are going on in the country. The country is bleeding. There's no question about that. Let us rise up as legislators ourselves, use the appropriate, what we call, instruments through the committees and everything. Make sure that we change the laws when there's need to change the laws and stop thugs from stealing national resources. Because we are the lawmaking body. We have the instrument to put a bridle on these things, and we're not doing that. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, and with the bleeding, what do you call, nation is right now because of the misuse of our resources and the rampant corruption, runaway corruption, and I rest my case, but I'm pleading with my colleagues here. Let us rise up to the occasion to protect Kenyans and protect the minimum resources that we have so that they're put to a good use. There's no medicine in the hospitals. There's nothing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, before I give the next member, allow me to acknowledge Kitengela East Adventist School, Kajiado East, Kajiado, Nunguni Junior School from Kaiti in Makwiny, Moi Girls High School, Ainapkoi, Uasin Gishu, Don Bosco Manyata from Embu, and Molo Academy from Molo, Nakuru County. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Now, Benja, you wanted to welcome school. I'll give you half a minute because you are interrupting ongoing debate.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me first and foremost welcome all the students from four-year schools in the Republic, Mr. Speaker. Let me tell them welcome to Parliament. I wish them a very nice tour in Parliament and everywhere else they are going, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I welcome in particular Moi Girls Eldred, because, Mr. Speaker, amongst them, Mr. Speaker, is my daughter. And I'm told the Deputy Speaker also was a student there. So let me welcome all of them to Parliament. I wish them a nice tour. And I want to inform them, Mr. Speaker, that Parliament is created under Article 94 and given functions under Article 95. I wish them that they become great women and great men in future, Mr. Speaker. Some of them will be speaker, one of them will be a speaker like you. Some of them will be members of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, and other great people in the Republic, Mr. Speaker. So welcome.
Thank you. Honorable members, this motion is a product of a bill you debated extensively and rejected the amendments to the bill by the Senate. And we took it to mediation. Looking at the Hansard, we're just saying what we said when we were rejecting the bill. Isn't that so? So let's have a consensus that I give 3-3, and then we put the question. Because you are just saying what you already said. It's on record. Yes, Wangare? I give 3-3.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I think if we just keep it short, we can be able to manage very fast. And first of all, is to thank the mediation committee for the work well done. But more importantly, Mr. Speaker, is to note, just as has been said, that CDF only gets about 50 billion versus 415 billion, which is not visible. But more importantly, Mr. Speaker, what the county government should do are 3 simple things. Ensure that the dispensaries and the health centers have a doctor or a clinical officer and have medicine, Mr. Speaker. Because even as we legislate for SHA to work, it will not work if the primary health care facilities are not working. The other issue, Mr. Speaker, even in schools, they only deal with village polytechnics and ECDs. The others is done by NGCDF. So, Mr. Speaker, some of these small things that should be seen are not being seen. But more importantly, Mr. Speaker, something I have observed with the county government, there is a lot of donor money going to the counties and through the counties. World Bank money. If you look at the housing programs, Mr. Speaker, the county governments are taking the lead as the ones doing it. Yes, the money is appropriated in this house. If you look at the markets, like the markets in my constituency, I have 4 markets. All of them are being done by the national government, but the county government will own them as their own. So they are using these projects to shine or try to show they are working, yet the appropriated money from this division of revenue is not being seen, Mr. Speaker. The other problem we have in this whole arrangement of county governments, Mr. Speaker, is the issue of the Senate. 2 things. There is an obsession of the senators wanting to just become governors. So they have actually punctured their oversight in terms of focus, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, this obsession of calling ministers and CSAs to the Senate, Mr. Speaker, we must be able to deal with it once and for all, because they have then lost the ability and the mandate to call to oversight governors. Because if you look at the CS, the former member here, Mbadi, has gone to the Senate 5 times to do what, Mr. Speaker? Appropriation and money matters are in this house. So, Mr. Speaker, this problem we must deal through our standing orders. Let us be clear that the ministers and the CSAs appear before the National Assembly, because even when there is a discipline issue, it is this National Assembly which can deal with it. Even a censure motion, Mr. Speaker, the Senate cannot do it. But then, Mr. Speaker, they have lost all the time to call the governors to order because they are too busy looking at the CSAs and what they can do with the CSAs. So, Mr. Speaker, those 2 issues have to be dealt within this house. Otherwise, we will keep going round and the issue of oversight from the Senate will still be lost. As I support, I would like to put that on record, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Elachi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to really thank the mediation team and to appreciate that indeed, as everyone has said, that this house must get back its power. That one thing even the Supreme Court has clearly stipulated, that this is the house that deals with the monies of this country and are able to ensure you allocate money that will go to be used in the right way. And Mr. Speaker, when you look at the county governments, first of all, you ask yourself, and I want to thank Baba, because he pleaded and he said, we give the county governments 450, we have gone 70 plus equalization fund. For the first time, CS body will be able to ensure we are getting the equalization fund. But then now the question comes to, how are we going to use these resources? Yet you find a governor, Mr. Speaker, who has decided you can have as many advisors as you would wish, that this money now will become foreign money trips, which is very unfortunate. That is why we are finding ourselves with challenges, that we are finding the growth of the country is below level. Why? The money we have sent to build growth, to build the markets that are coming in, to build the micro entrepreneurs, the small medium, is gone, and the governor will decide, Mr. Speaker, what he wants to pay, what he doesn't want to pay. Today, look at our Kenyans who are suffering with diabetes. That today in this country, insulin injection is 750 per day. for a patient who is diabetic. And I want to call to the governors. We need to reduce the price. Our people are dying. Health is in your hands. Stop looking for bursary. Look to manage the people, help the people, so that we have lives in our country. How I wish they can concentrate on health 100%. And we concentrate on education 100%. We will have changed our country to a better country. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, the Senate. Mr. Speaker, I, Martha Wangare, Honorable Esuda, all of us were in the first Senate. Yes, I have said Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
And he was the lead. He taught us. He was our scholar. At that time, we thought we are going to have a Senate that will think through county governments. We never used to summon CSS. That was not our business. Once in a while, we'll summon when we know this is a county function and now it's going to the dogs. But today, the Senate we have is a National Assembly bill.
In fact, for 5 years, we invited ministers not more than 5 times.
Yes. And we were there and we did the best to bring the foundation. But this Senate has decided they know how to speak good English than any other person. But they forgot when they went to represent us for county governments. It was meant for mwananchi who doesn't want to understand English, but understand service. But if you tell the Senate to go back home and speak something different and ask him what is happening just on his doorstep, whether that family has gotten a patient who is sick, he has no idea. He has in his own county, he has not done even monitoring and evaluation to understand how many people are sick of the chronic diseases we have. Yet that is the key function that went devolved 98%. So as I finalize, Mr. Speaker, this thing of roads, as in Nairobi, first of all, you cannot bring us Maram. So while you bring this, you should know, as we tarmac, and all counties must start tarmacking, monies that come from national government must be used to tarmac roads, not to make some, I don't know what road. No. We must be serious about this and we must stop this misuse. And I am pleading with counties, awaken yourselves. 15 years, you are supposed now to be showing us which counties are stronger than others and which are able to now sustain themselves without the national government. I beg to support and thank you, Mr. Speaker.
GK.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the mediated bill. Honorable Speaker, I was one of the mediators, and we indeed supported the 415 billion because we firmly believe in decentralization, in the principle of decentralization of resources. Honorable Speaker, the county governments that we have today, it is my opinion that we need to relook into this system of devolution. We need to reform it because, Honorable Speaker, we formed this devolution because we want to, or we wanted to achieve a flourishing society, what is called in Greek eudaimonia. And Honorable Speaker, the achievement of a flourishing society comes when we focus on human development index of our country. That is education, health, and the standards of living for our people. But Honorable Speaker, this is not what is happening. This is not what is happening in our counties. We are seeing a lot of wastage of resources. We are seeing a lot of misuse of opportunities where our people should be benefiting. We are not seeing that happening, Honorable Speaker. And for that reason, Honorable Speaker, I want to support my colleagues in calling upon our governors to ensure that the resources we appropriate here are used for the right reason. Honorable Speaker, I support, but I want to caution our friends, our governors, to do what is right and ensure that our people are well taken care of in terms of addressing the needs of our society. Honorable Speaker, I support.
Tienda Molo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I support this mediated version of the bill, and I congratulate the team. Mr. Speaker, those of us who are lawyers know that even in law, we are moving from confrontation, from litigation to mediation. So mediation is a good thing. Here, we have this mediated version because we are obligated by the Constitution. But we should encourage ourselves as a House, the Senate, the Council of Governors, that instead of litigating all the time, we should endeavor to mediate what we perceive to be our differences. As a National Assembly, we have been greatly restrained in litigation. In fact, of about 36 cases that I've counted, I think virtually all of them...
We are defendants.
Yes, we are defendants. Yes. They have been initiated either by the Senate or the Council of Governors. So I urge the Senate and the Council of Governors to take that cue, that instead of running to the court, we should try and mediate our issues. In fact, it looks very untidy to a Kenyan that the Constitution says there is the Parliament of Kenya. And then you have the Parliament of Kenya suing the Parliament of Kenya. It's actually an oxymoron. And it is something really to be discouraged. And in it, we must understand that even though the Constitution creates institutions that are independent, they are also interdependent. And that independent must not be taken to its illogical conclusion. We need not be antagonistic all the time. We can actually sit and discuss and agree. Because in fact, if we were to take the hard stance all the time, this House would actually emerge the victor. But I think this House has purposefully taken a step back for the betterment of the nation. Mr. Speaker, it is a good thing that we were able and we are navigating even the issue of the road maintenance levy. And as we directed yesterday, Mr. Speaker, we'll be having a kumekucha on it on Tuesday. And as directed by the court, we'll be considering the Kenya Roads Act, Section 6 and 47. I believe that when we look at it, there are two things we are required to look at, and we ought to look at. One is the question of percentages, because the court cannot determine for us how much to allocate. But the court can only encourage that do not exclude. And we will be talking percentages. But I think that we should go beyond percentages and we should talk of purpose. If we appropriate a certain percentage of the roads maintenance levy fund to the counties, it is for what purpose? It cannot be for purposes of constructing the footpath next to my home. I think it is now time to consider, because I think we are all suffering. While we can usually engage with KERA to try and do some maram roads here and there, all tarmac roads, the few that may have been done, are all being now wiped out. So we should now restrict anything that is allocated to the counties to the low volume tarmac in the urban areas within our constituencies. That way we can see what is being done. And that is very important, Mr. Speaker, because, for example, take two examples that are totally devolved. Health. Many of the counties would rush to construct health facilities because that's easy politically, but then not put any drugs because that's expensive and it is not visible. Many of the counties would rush to put a sports facility because that's visible, but not invest in the sports equipment or in the sports tournament. The idea of sports was removed from CDF and none of us is now involved. and you'll realize it that in the whole country now, you do not find sports tournaments. You know, so development of top sports talents then just dies like that. I'd like to finish, Mr. Speaker, by saying, in the context of all this is the question of NGCDF. And as Mr. Speaker directed, next week we are discussing this matter, especially the constitutional amendments, and then we go on recess. I would like to urge members at this point to plan for next week so that you are pleased here. It would be a very unfortunate situation if we get to next week when we are supposed to read 2/3 and then we hear some members are in their constituencies, some members are abroad, some members are in their offices, some members are in all sorts of other businesses that usually engage members of parliament, but this is much more fundamental. I support Mr. Speaker.
Osoro, the last one on this side.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also rise to support the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, Honorable Speaker. And I congratulate the teams, both the Senate team and the National Assembly, for coming up with an amicable solution, because in my engagement with the honorable members, both from both sides, I realized there was push and pull, and it really took a lot of effort and utmost wisdom and maturity to even get to that level of 415. Because initially they had even stuck at 425 without the vetting, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, even as we get to this point every time, because it's now becoming a norm, that year in, year out, there is an the county governments are allocated some substantial amount of money for development. And of course, at the end of it all, we of course get to this level of engagement and everything between these two houses. With the way the Senate defends, Honorable Speaker, with the way the Senate defends this allocation or the division of revenue bill, and even the way they push for high allocation to the counties, I wish the same vigor was used to follow the money and see what it does in the counties, Honorable Speaker. Because it is very unfortunate, extremely unfortunate, and we really must remind them every time that over 10 years post devolution, Honorable Speaker, we really haven't reached to the level where the drafters of the Constitution envisioned us to reach, Honorable Speaker. And you'll always see, you know, members of parliament still being approached to do and work for the people on the issues, Honorable Speaker, that are supposed to be handled by the county governments. Because unless utmost civic education is done to the members of the public to get to know what members of the National Assembly are supposed to do under Article 95 and 96, and what the county governors are supposed to do. Because sometimes, Honorable Speaker, we are approached by people whenever we visit our constituencies, asked about water, asked about the hospitals, asked about feeder roads. We asked about everything. And when we tell them, Honorable Speaker, that this is supposed to be done by the county governments or the governors, we are told, you know, we are the one we elected. We do not know this governor. We do not know this MCA. You are the one who want to do this and this and this. And sometimes it really becomes a bit of a challenge. But even more importantly, Honorable Speaker, there has been a pro rata growth, or, you know, gradual growth of this allocation from 370, we go to about 380, 385 all through. Now we are at 415. Honorable Speaker, where does this money go to? Where does it go to? We know it gets to the counties, but what does it do? Honorable Speaker, move around the counties across the country. You know their roles. You know what they are supposed to do. It's about the ECD classrooms. You will see challenges. It's about, when you talk about the feeder roads, you will see challenges. In fact, Honorable Speaker, yesterday I was engaging one senator who was in the mediation team, Honorable Speaker. And he confided in me by telling me, Honorable Speaker, that even after pushing for this allocation, we know that out of about 447 governors, it's about 3 of them who are working. Then I asked him then, why then were you pushing for 430? He said, you know, they were just enriching them. It is quite sad. Honorable Speaker, nowadays what this money is used for will surprise you. It's only meant to create a group of people, you know, who are on pay a year every month that move around with the governor, as Honorable Speaker, to funerals or to public functions as cheer squads. And they move. You'll actually notice even the standing position is the same. They move from this area. When the governor moves to this side, they go with them. When they move to a church, they go with them. When they move to the funeral, they go with them. And their work is just one. Their job description is one. Cheer us whenever we stand to speak so that everybody will think we are popular. This is a sad reality that counties are not doing what is supposed to be done. Most of these things, Honorable Speaker, that the drafters of the Constitution envisioned that the money that will get closer to people will have decentralized all the funds, and the responsibilities will be limited to that area so that the concentrated area of development will be within that jurisdiction. Honorable Speaker, this thing is not happening. Roads are pathetic. When you saw them the other day, Honorable Speaker, engaging us over the RMLF, and we had a meeting which yours truly, you sent us, Honorable Speaker, to engage them the other time. We took 4 hours, Honorable Speaker, to debate about 10 billion shillings. We took 4 hours and we couldn't agree. In fact, they go to a point of saying, you guys, if you do not want, we'll even close. They threatened us of closing down the counties and downing down the tools. And we told them, we will not feel your effect. Even on your operating, we don't feel you. So if closing down, still, it's inconsequential. And that is why we are promoting the culture of goonism by sending a lot of money just to create goons from this corner to this corner. And I've always said, and I'll still repeat, Honorable Speaker, that you will see when you move around the country, you will see what NGAF does, you will see what NGCDF does. All over, in the public eye, you will see tanks by the gracious ladies from this house, all over being distributed. You will see them doing a lot of bursaries with a meager amount of money, Honorable Speaker, about 40-something million. But, Honorable Speaker, in the billions that the county governments get, you will need a microscope to identify one thing, just one thing, that this county has done this county has done this county has done this. All you see, Honorable Speaker, is a group of people moving around with a convoy of 30, 40 vehicles to one function. And I've always said this, one carrying a podium, another one carrying a chair, another one carrying a carpet, another one carrying a toilet, another one carrying I don't know what. And when they go there, all they want to hear about a queue of all long people saying, oh, Your Excellency, calling. How do you call excellencies? People don't work. They are doing nothing. Stop calling them excellencies. Honorable Speaker, we need to empower the county assemblies. It's about time we rethink how we can be able to empower the county assemblies so that we have a replica of what we have, and they enjoy autonomy of having perhaps ward development funds, so that other than enriching one person who is in charge, that you have to be who is creating a demigod of themselves, within themselves, that if they disagree with you, they'll mess up with your life, you'll not even sleep in your house, they'll send you goons. It is becoming very sad. And even the Senate, we want to tell the Senate, Honorable Speaker, we want to tell the Senate, I don't know what the Honorable Tiana Volo is saying, but we also want to inform the Senate, please do your work. Your work is to oversight the county governments. What place do you have inviting on matters national security, inviting a minister, inviting so and so for theatrics? Yet you cannot reprimand them, you cannot impeach, you cannot invoke an impeachment motion, you can do nothing. What is your interest? Do your work. Your work is to oversight county governments. And you really have to care about security of the Kenyans across, then invite Kanjo to your places of in your house, and then ask them, why do you use rungus moving around and everything? Because that is that is your work. Stop these things of fighting for recognition when you know very well you're playing to the public gallery. You know very well you are simply whipping emotions and telling we are the upper house, we can engage the minister, we can engage you know very well you have no reprimanding power. You have no power to even call for a motion of impeachment against anybody within the national government. So we urge the Senate to put their feet down and be strong and be firm against the county governments or against those governors who are stealing. And it's actually, Honorable Speaker, about time we ask them, amidst the questions they ask through the PSC, through the PISC of the Senate, what further step do they take to make sure that that fund is guarded? Because all we see is theatrics. A governor comes, sometimes they answer questions their way, and they are told just go, it's played all over on TV and everywhere, and it then ends there. Honorable Speaker, it is very, very sad. Kenyans are losing a lot of money. We need to find a way to make sure that this money is followed back to the grassroots. We see what happens so that, Honorable Speaker, we can be able to get value for money and for the taxes that Kenyans pay. With those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I still support the 415, but I wish it was reduced to 200. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Oundo, you are the last on this side.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me also join my colleagues in supporting.
Okay, Oundo, share your 5 minutes with Kainan.
I'll do 3 minutes and then give him 2. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I said 3-3.
Oh, fine. Honorable Speaker, let me also join my colleagues in supporting the allocation of 115 billion to the counties with a lot of reservations. I do not want to echo what my colleagues have said, but the intention of devolution was indeed to have successful development in all parts of this country. During the 1980s, we had so many issues about balanced development. We expected devolution, now almost in the 15th year, to have changed the rural landscape considerably. Honorable Speaker, as we stand today, many of the places in this country have not seen or appreciated the effects or the impact of devolution. As we stand here today, Honorable Speaker, yes, there are a few billionaires that have been created in counties, but many other people are wallowing in poverty, are wallowing in depression, are wallowing in very many challenges, Honorable Speaker. Medical is a very major issue, Honorable Speaker. We request that as we move forward, we call upon the Senate that the biggest letdown in the war of, in issues of devolution. You are a senior member. Those who are you have served you as your colleagues. Probably find the time one of these days. Invite them for a cup of tea and tell them the missing link in the improved performance of county governments is essentially the Senate. With those very few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support.
Kainan.
Speaker, I will reluctantly contribute because I know some of us are on retainers here. Mr. Speaker, some of us are on retainers. Mr. Speaker, we have been around.
Order, Honorable Kainan. Either you contribute or you don't.
I did not mention anybody. I said some of us are on retainers here. And if you want, I will mention.
Order, Honorable Kainan. You are out of order. You wanted to contribute.
Mr. Speaker, you know I've contributed many times, so even if I don't contribute, it will not be an issue.
Order, Honorable Kainan, order. Honorable Kainan, we've bestowed you the title of the Father of the House because of your longevity. And the least I expect from you is to mentor these young members by being courteous, even under stress, by being friendly, even under stress, and by showing the best example, even under stress. That's what we expect from you. And we expect you, Farah Maalim, the seniors. We have young members here who sit and wait to see what is Farah going to say, what is Kainan going to say, what is Bukose going to say. And I encourage you to mentor these young members. Those of you who sat with me in the houses, both here and the other house, I provided mentorship unconditionally. And at no time should any one of you sit back and think that you have the right to speak over any other member. We are all equal. And when we give you preference because of your seniority, take it with grace and speak with grace and end with grace. Go ahead.
You can give it to somebody else.
Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa fursa hii adhimu. Na mimi pia nilikuwa mmoja katika wale wanakamati ambao tulikuwa tunafanya maelewano katika bill hii ambayo ilikuwa imeletwa katika hii bunge, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi kwanza nataka nichukue fursa hii niweze kupongeza kamati andalizi ambaye imefanya mikakati. Ilikuwa si rahisi, tuliweza kuwa na sintofahamu hapa na pale, lakini mwisho tukaweza kuafikiana, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na ugatuzi katika taifa hili, Mheshimiwa Spika, ulikuja ili kuweza kufikisha huduma kwa wananchi wa chini, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na maana ya hii kamati ilikuwa ni kuweza kuangalia kuwa ugavi wa rasilimali katika baina ya serikali kuu na serikali za ugatuzi zinaweza kuangaliwa vizuri, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka niseme hivi. Kwa sasa serikali za ugatuzi ama county governments tumewapa ongezeko katika mgao wenu. Ile kitu naomba kama mama county ama mmoja katika wale wa kamati, muhakikishe kuwa huduma zinafikia wananchi, na hasa katika matibabu na hospitali zetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, unapata mgonjwa ameingia hospitali, Mheshimiwa Spika, katika ICU, mgonjwa anakufa kwa sababu ile mashini wanasema imezimika ama wanasema kuwa haifanyi kazi. Na mimi nataka nizungumze, hasa nikiweza kuzungumza katika kaunti yangu, niweze kusema kama mama county nimejibidisha kuhakikisha muongezeko umekuja katika kaunti ya Mombasa na kaunti zingine za Kenya, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo kitu ambacho nahitaji kutoka kwa magavana ni kuhakikisha kuwa huduma na hata zile barabara, manake kutoka 405 billion tumeweza kusukuma, tumefika 415 billion, na kisha kuna bilioni 55 ile ambayo ilikuwa upande wa barabara, kuna bilioni 10 ambayo ni equalization fund. Hizi pesa zote katika zile ambazo walikuwa wametaka bilioni 450 hata zimeongezeka, zimefika kama bilioni 485. Kwa hiyo kitu ambacho tunataka county government, muhakikishe kuwa huduma, madawa yawe ndani ya hospitali. Hatutaki kuona mgonjwa anaingia, mama anajifungua, mtoto analipishwa, mama analipishwa, inakuwa ni wizi, Mheshimiwa Spika, ama ni dhulma. Hatutaki kuona kuwa wagonjwa wanaingia hospitali hakuna madawa, wakati ambapo juzi na jana tumeona mkutano pale walipokuwa na KEMSA, imebainika kuwa 90 billion imepotea kwa sababu madawa zili expire, Mheshimiwa Spika, na Wakenya wanakosa madawa katika hospitali, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, ukiangalia barabara zile zinazojengwa kule mashinani, Mheshimiwa Spika, unapata barabara zinawekwa patches, vinawekwa vitambara, barabara haijengwi vizuri kwa sababu kuna mtu amekaa mahali anajua nitajenga barabara vibaya, kesho na kesho kutwa pesa zingine zitakuja, nitazidi kuweka viraka, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, kaunti zetu hizi tumekuwa tukipoteza pesa nyingi sana, na Wakenya wanaangalia. Tuna vijana, tuna kina mama ambao wanaangalia huduma gani na kuja mashinani. Na kama alivyosema ndugu yangu Osoro, Mheshimiwa Spika, kina mama 47, licha ya kuwa tunapata mgao mdogo sana, milioni kama Mombasa milioni 46, lakini juzi mmeona nikiempower mpaka bodaboda, nimewapa bodaboda 40, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hiyo pesa kidogo, vijana wanafurahi. Ukiangalia kina mama wanapata pesa ya kuwezesha kufanya biashara. Mimi naomba counties muna pesa ya kuweza kupatia vijana na kina mama ambayo inaitwa revolving fund. Hizi pesa nyingi hazifiki mashinani, Mheshimiwa Spika. Huu ni mwaka wa 3 tukiangalia, na kina mama wanataka biashara, kina vijana wanataka kufanya biashara, wanafanya. Serikali ya taifa inaweza kulemezwa kila wakati. Rais analaumiwa wakati kuna viongozi ambao wamepewa nafasi yao kuweza kufanya kazi na hawafanyi kazi. Mimi nataka niseme hizi pesa tumewapa, tunataka mjenge ECD classes. Kuna wengine tuliona hata Senate alifanya oversight, akatoa ripoti yake, Mheshimiwa Spika, imebainisha kuwa kuna wakati shule inaandikwa kuwa imejengwa na milioni 100, ukiingia ground hakuna skuli, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na mimi nataka kuambia governors, zile kesi mmetupelekea kule kotini, kesi nyingi sisi tumekuwa defendants kila siku, wakati ambapo nyinyi wenyewe mmezembea kazini. Tumewapa pesa kwa sababu tumeheshimu kauli ya baba yetu Raila Odinga akisema ugatuzi uweze kuimarishwa. Tumeheshimu, nimekuwa mmoja katika wale ambao tumewapa hizi pesa, na sisi tunataka muonyeshe heshima kwa mzee Raila Odinga kuwa pesa mmepata na kazi mnafanya, sio wizi ndani ya counties, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo namalizia nikisema Ugatuzi unaheshimika, pesa tumewapa na nyinyi pia muheshimu bunge hili, msiwe watu wa kuingilia mambo ya ngaf, kuingilia mambo ya NGCDF, mnakuwa na tamaa ya hapa na pale, na senators nyinyi mmekuwa kama oversighters wa kule county. Acheni kupewa vipeni vidogo vidogo, mkija mnataka kulemeza kila kitu katika taifa, mkitetea counties. Counties tumewapa pesa, kwa hiyo wafanye kazi, tutataka kuona kazi yao. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Yes, mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me take this opportunity to thank members of this House who have made their contributions on this very important bill. Honorable Speaker, this bill is very, very important in the budget process, that without the passage of this bill, we are not even able to appropriate. Honorable Speaker, with the support that I have received from the members and the contributions you have made, I believe that governors have listened to this House and they have listened to the concerns of this House, that this House expects governors to restrict themselves to their mandate and develop counties with the resources they have been given. I also would like to join members who are asking the Senate to undertake the oversight responsibilities. Honorable Speaker, my observation is that the Senate is composed of very many young legislators. I would like to urge some of those young senators to come to National Assembly, because I think Senate they are misusing the Senate. The things they are doing in the Senate, they should come and do them here in the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, I beg to reply.
Order, David, take your seat. Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 13. Which is that pursuant to the provisions of Article 113(2) of the Constitution and Standing Order 153, this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 18th June 2025, and approves the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order. At order number 14, honorable members, on the request of the majority leader and agreement of the chair budget and approval of the speaker, we will go to committee on appropriation bill and stay equalization fund appropriation bill to a later date, maybe next week. Next order.
Order number 14, Committee of the Whole House.
Can I call? Order, members. We are now in the Committee of the Whole House for the Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025.
Clause 3.
Order, members. I propose the question that Clause 3 be part of the bill. It has no amendment. I put the question that Clause 3 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New Clause 4.
I propose the question that Clause 4 be part of the bill. Mover, Majority Leader. Is it? Just take it again. Take it again.
New clause 4.
New clause 4. Mover to move the second reading.
Sorry, Honorable Chair, consulting with the Chair, and I wish to drop that particular amendment, having consulted with the Chair on the way forward.
Very well. The new clause 4 is dropped on record.
Schedule.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the schedule be the schedule of the bill. Mover, you have an amendment?
Yes. Yes. Honorable Chair, I move that the bill be amended by deleting the schedule and substituting thereof the following new schedule, which is in the order paper. Honorable Chair, members are aware that there was recent changes in government where the President pronounced himself through a new executive order. That order has occasioned the reorganization of the budget to reflect the realities of government. And therefore, we have a new schedule that is capturing all the changes that are contained in the executive order. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable Elachi, are you on this? No. Your card is in the intervention. Okay. I will therefore propose the question that the schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair. I put the question that the schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. There is a proposed amendment, Chair.
Thank you. That clause 2 of the bill be amended by deleting the words 1,877,366,830,829 and substituting thereof the words 1,549,759,302. Honorable Chair, because of the changes that were occasioned by the new executive order, there is an increase in the exchequer vote by 150 million and a reduction in the appropriation in aid by the similar amount. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. I put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, that was a very short committee of the whole. We'll call up the mover to move. Yes, to move reporting.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the appropriation bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025, and its approval thereof with amendments.
I put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the appropriation bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025, and its approval thereof with amendments. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
the chairperson to report to the House.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025, and approved the same with amendments.
Fair enough. The mover of the bill to move agreement to the report.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Honorable Dr. Pukose to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The mover of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Appropriations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025, be now read a third time. I also request Honorable Dr. Pukose to second.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025, be now read a third time. Honorable members, I now put the question for the third reading. I have confirmed that the House is properly constituted for the purpose of making a decision. I therefore put the question, which is that the Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025, be now read a third time. As many of the opinion say aye. Aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to authorize the issuance of a sum of money out of the consolidated fund and its application towards the service of the year ending on the 30th of June 2026, and to appropriate that sum and a sum voted on account by the National Assembly for certain public services and purposes.
Next order. Order number 15.
Order number 15, special motion. Consideration of nominees for appointment to the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal.
The chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs, Honorable Murugara.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to move that, taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs in its report on the approval hearings of nominees for appointment as the chairperson and members of the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 17th June 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 50 of the Public Benefit Organization Tribunal Act 2013 and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Chapter 7F of the Laws of Kenya, approves the appointment of the following persons to the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal, namely, number 1, Ms. Eunice Adoyo Otieno Aroa as the chairperson, Ms. Christabel Mideva Eboso, member, Ms. Elizabeth Mbithe Mulwa, member, Dr. Leonard Kinyulusi, member, and Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Nur, member. Honorable Speaker, on the 17th of June 2025, on behalf of the JLAC Committee, I tabled a report of the approval hearings signed on the same day. I also implored upon members to obtain a copy of that report so that they acquaint themselves with it and are able to contribute positively regarding the proposal that these 5 nominees be approved to this tribunal. Be it go on record that under Section 50 of the Parent Act, curiously, it is required that this House approves members to sit in that tribunal. And I say curiously because it is not usual for the House to approve members to sit in tribunals, especially where, under the Constitution, the tribunals are part of the judiciary. Number 2, these nominees were actually interviewed by a panel chaired by the Chief Justice, and the approval was given. Therefore, we may need to reconsider our law. What purpose does it serve for the National Assembly to approve these tribunals? And is there room for rejection? And if there is room for rejection, what will be the grounds for that rejection? I leave that for now. To submit that the report we actually tabled is elaborate. It covers all the hearings of the 5 nominees. And I would urge members who have not read it to read it, so that we do not have to spend a lot of time on the report. The first person to be nominated was Miss Eunice Adoyo Otieno Aroa, who is aged 52 years and is proposed to be the chairperson. This is assistant advocate who actually satisfied all the constitutional requirements as regards the ability to sit as the chairperson. Academic background, experience, she has sat in several other similar tribunals. All this was positive on the part of Ms. Otieno Aroa to sit as the chairperson for the period appointed. The second person to be vetted was Ms. Christabel Mideva Eboso, a young lady of 32 years. This is the representative of the Gen Z. And it's good to speak positively about her. She's an advocate of the High Court of Kenya and has practiced for quite a while. She has also involved herself in various tribunal matters which give her the necessary experience and qualification to sit as a member of this tribunal. The third person was Miss Elizabeth Mbithemulwa, aged 41 years, another Gen Z, whom we were pleased to vet because, again, she's an advocate of the High Court of Kenya and fully qualifies to sit as a member of that tribunal. The fourth person was Dr. Leonard Kinyulusi, who is not an advocate. And this is the requirement of the law that 2 of these members need not be advocates. Dr. Kinyulusi is well educated. If you go to the report, especially on him, he has written enormously about various topics, both in law, in social work, and other areas which are required to have dispute resolution. It is that experience that qualified Dr. Kinyulusi to sit in this board. And the last of them was Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Nur, who, again, is not a lawyer, a self-made person from the northern side of Kenya, aged 50 years. He has also actually studied quite a lot in matters social, in matters religious, in matters where disputes arise. And this being the public benefits organizations. And for each of this house, these are what used to be called NGOs. Now they are called public benefit organizations. We were of the opinion that Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Nur suits very well to sit as the 50th member of the tribunal. So we actually had all this in mind when we looked at the procedure of nomination of these 5 persons, and that procedure was fully satisfied under the relevant act, the Public Benefits Organization Act. The constitutional and statutory requirements were also fulfilled in that all these nominees satisfied the requirements under under the Constitution and the other necessary statutory requirements, including citizenship, leadership, ethics, integrity, and tax compliance. Then we looked at the nominees were able to meet the integrity threshold under Chapter 6 of the Constitution. They all demonstrated knowledge of topical, administrative, and technical issues of the position to which they have been nominated. And they have the requisite abilities, academic qualifications, and the professional experience to be approved for appointment. As regards their suitability of the nominees for the proposed appointments, having regard to whether the nominees' abilities, experience, and qualities meet the needs of the body to which they have been nominated, we were able to conclude that the nominees have demonstrated deep understanding of the affairs of the public benefits organizations, the dispute resolution mechanism, and their respective roles of chairperson and members. And as a general observation, we were convinced as a committee that the PBODT, which is the tribunal itself, is the only tribunal that requires vetting. And this is why we have made a proposal that we have to look at this afresh to actually confirm whether we should be nominating all members of all tribunals. And I wish to inform the House that we are re-engineering. We are actually going to resubmit. We are going to republish the tribunals bill so that we come up with a Tribunals Act regarding the various tribunals in the country. As we do that, we will consider whether it will be necessary to vet these tribunal members, or we will leave it to the exclusive jurisdiction of the judiciary to have these members sit in those tribunals. Having considered all that, Honorable Speaker, the committee has now recommended that this House approves Ms. Eunice Adoyo Otieno as the chairperson of the Public Benefits Organization Disputes Tribunal, and also approves Ms. Christabel Mideva Eboso, Ms. Elizabeth Bithemulwa, Dr. Leonard Kinyulosi, and Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Nur to be members of the Public Benefits Organizations Disputes Tribunal. With that, and with a very, very light closing remark, you will notice that age has actually been considered fullest. It's spread across, and that's why we have good words for the Gen Z, because they have a member in here. Number two, the gender parity, the gender equality, which is a requirement, has been now satisfied in favor of the ladies, because we have 3 ladies sitting in this tribunal and 2 men sitting in the same tribunal. This is a positive step that we actually commend the judiciary for having brought this. Now, with those remarks, having called upon the House to approve the appointment of the 5, it is my singular pleasure to invite the member of Kenya nominated, Ms. Zuleka Harun, to second the motion. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Let me take this opportunity to second the chairman of Justice Legal Affairs Committee and the report that was prepared by the Justice Legal and Affairs Committee on the approval vetting of the members of the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal. Honorable Chair, the committee has noted that all the nominees have met the statutory requirements. They have also met the academic qualifications, professional experience, and all the requirements under the Act. The nominees have also demonstrated their deep understanding of issues to do with the Public Benefit Organizations Act, Organizations Dispute Tribunal, and as well as conflict resolution mechanisms that they are going to employ in their role as members of the dispute tribunal. Honorable Chair, the thing that excited me in this report more is we always fight for the 2/3 rule in every appointment that is done in this country. However, today we are going to celebrate because we have 3 women out of the 5. Here we have women as a majority preferred. And I also congratulate the Chief Justice who has done justice for our ladies in this country. Number 2, we also have the issue of the youth covered very well. If you look at the age of all the members, we have 3 who fall under the GenZs and the millennial bracket. I also want to congratulate them for considering the GenZs in their appointment. GenZs are not only on the streets, Honorable Speaker. We have serious GenZs who are taking part in crucial matters of this country. An example is Ms. Christabel Ebosa, who has done so well in the interview, and until we didn't even get a chance to ask her more questions in the vetting process. So I want to congratulate her on that and all the nominees who have made to this list. As I second, I also want to urge the House to consider these members and congratulations to the committee and the good work they have done. I second, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose a question that taken into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs in its report on the approval hearing of nominees for appointment as the chairperson and members of the Public Benefits Organization Dispute Tribunal laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, the 17th June 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 50 of the Public Benefits Organization Dispute Tribunal Act of 2013 and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, approves the appointment of the following persons to the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal. Roman 1, Ms. Eunice Adoyo Otieno Arwa, Chairperson. Roman 2, Ms. Christabel Mideva Eboso, Member. Roman 3, Ms. Elizabeth Mbithe Mulwa, Member. Roman 4, Dr. Leonard Kinyulusi, Member. And Roman 5, Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Noor, Member. Honorable Karemba. Karemba.
Yes, that is the correct pronunciation, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, from the onset, I want to start by saying that I support fully this motion on the motion that regarding the appointment of these very diligent Kenyans to this tribunal. And I wish to confirm that, Honorable Speaker, I am a member of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee under the leadership of the Honorable Murugara, who led us to doing this very important assignment. Honorable Speaker, what excites me in this report and in the findings of this report is that the members of this tribunal are very well educated. Apart from that, we have 2 very young members in this report, this tribunal, and who also demonstrated ability in the responsibility that they are just about to assume. And you see, in this country, Honorable Speaker, we have had very many tribunals, commissions, and assignments that have only been given to the very senior citizens in this country. But now, seeing very young people being given opportunities to work in this high-level tribunal now inspires confidence even from the young people of this country that indeed there are opportunities for them when they get the training and the education that is needed of them. Honorable Speaker, also these members are coming from different regions in this republic, meaning that there is a fair distribution of opportunities, and I believe that this is the way to go, and even in the opportunities to come. So, Honorable Speaker, I support.
Fair enough. The Honorable Rindikiri, MP for Buri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. First, I would like to identify myself with the findings of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee on their assessment and subsequently presentation of the nominees. Mr. Speaker, tribunals play very great role, especially when there are issues related to disputes. Mr. Speaker, the public benefits organizations are what used to be called non-government organizations. These organizations, Mr. Speaker, are both local and international. And they engage themselves in various activities, education, health. They are also involved in public awareness in various parts of this country. In many cases, Mr. Speaker, you find they are required to adhere to the legal status of the country. Mr. Speaker, we used to hear a lot of complaints and tug of wars between NGOs and the government. And many of them, Mr. Speaker, particularly government requires to know where they have come from, what they are doing, what achievement they have gained in the areas where they are operating. In the process, Mr. Speaker, we would hear there are a lot of disputes. And therefore, a tribunal becomes very important, because now when these disputes between the government and these NGOs come, there must be somebody to listen to them. Mr. Speaker, many of them requires legal decisions to be made. And also, we need a lot of fairness, of course, when a dispute arises. And Mr. Speaker, they also provide legal experts. And that's why I need to identify myself with the nominees. Are they qualified to perform these responsibilities? Mr. Speaker, these are lawyers of good standings, and they are people from very strong background, which to me, they are able to discharge the responsibilities of a tribunal. Mr. Speaker, the committee has looked at their CV, which we have also looked at. There is fairness in terms of the gender sensitivity, which is a requirement in our constitution. And Mr. Speaker, they have combined on all the required age brackets. So from this perspective, Mr. Speaker, I would like to say that the committee has done a good job, and I would like to urge that we support the nomination and confirm them to sit in this very important tribunal. I support, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Member of Parliament for Ariela.
Mr. Speaker, the nominees are qualified, suitable, and appropriate. I support.
Honorable Elachi Beatrice.
Mr. Speaker, you know, when Senior has said that, he's telling us we finalize. But having said that, Mr. Speaker, is to support and to say that indeed, as the Chair has said, I believe that we must appreciate the crucial role in resolving disputes, particularly in special areas. And this is one special area that is very interesting, an area where I know we've had a lot of challenges in how to work together and really harmonize and ensure this transformation in our people. So, Mr. Speaker, we also appreciate that Article 13C of the Constitution recognizes that the judiciary and the independent tribunals are indeed organs that are given the powers to deal with all the claims and most of the challenges we face in terms of law. So the most important thing is to thank those who applied and to ensure the team now that is coming in, that you're coming in an area that is very crucial, an area where we always have a lot of challenges, especially even challenges of just understanding, and especially the international organizations that we have under this authority that are going to be regulated, that when you come into a country, you come in to enhance and to build trust and to ensure, because you're also spending taxpayers' money that are coming from outside. That person, that citizen in that country that was taxed for the money to come and benefit another citizen would wish to see transformation. And so as I finalize, Mr. Speaker, I also want to really plead that even on all the things that are happening now, we want to work together to have peace in our country. And so even in those organizations, look at your country and remember this is just your country. Work for it. I beg to support.
Honorable Sane, then followed by Honorable Langat. Oh, I can see the Vice Chair of this very able committee, Mutuse. You will also have a go at it. Proceed, Honorable Sane, MP for Wajir North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Public-private organizations have a wide mandate to perform. Mr. Speaker, I have been a civil society, an employee of the civil society organizations, and they have been doing great work on matters charity, education, humanitarian issues, health, environmental conservation, human rights issues, poverty elevation, a scope that is so wide and deep. However, these PPOs have to behave in a manner, they are expected to be independent, voluntarily in nature, non-partisan, non-profit making, and work for public good. Over the years, we have had issues insofar as them behaving within that required values and principles. Mr. Speaker, Kenya has had problems. We had chaos, civil societies being funded to cause chaos in this country. This country was nearly brought down during the Gen Z demonstrations. They have not been partisan as was expected of them, Mr. Speaker. So this tribunal comes at a time when they are required to at least resolve disputes on matters where things have not been done right. I mean, their leadership has been, they are led mostly by leaders who are privileged and who take their schools to top-notch schools. Yet they want Kenyans to suffer at times. Their purpose is mainly getting funds without regard to where the funds shall be used. They are the ones agitating for LBGT, Mr. Speaker. We belong to a moral society, a country that is anchored on recognizing God and religion. Mr. Speaker, our Constitution recognizes the family as the natural and the fundamental unit of this society, the basic unit, the source of social order. When we have civil society organizations trying to actively propagate LBGT, gay, in as much as there is a lacuna in our laws that doesn't forbid gay, you will see so many people supporting gay. So I think this tribunal, dispute tribunal, has a lot of work to do. This is the time they should at least engage and resolve disputes on funding, disputes on mandate, disputes on so many things that are done behind the country. We were about to lose our country. And I think this tribunal should be up to the task to make sure that we don't lose our stability. We safeguard our stability because we have enjoyed an island of peace for some time. You know, we have Somalia on one side. We know what is happening in Sudan, in South Sudan, and in other parts of East and Central Africa. Mr. Speaker, if these civil society organizations are not audited, if they are not held to task, then I'm afraid we may lose our country. This tribunal should be tough and thorough on these PPOs. I support the nominees. Thank you.
The Honorable Langat David, and then followed by the Deputy Chair of this.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to support the committee. Mr. Speaker, the committee for the Kenyans who have been appointed to different positions of this tribunal, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the committee is a arm of this parliament, and they have done background checks. They have checked their qualifications, Mr. Speaker, their reputation, Mr. Speaker, and therefore, and they have informed us here that all these Kenyans, right from the chairperson to the members, are all qualified in terms of academics, qualified in terms of reputation, qualified in terms of everything, Mr. Speaker. I support.
The Honorable Mutuse. Honorable Mutuse, Vice Chair, please give him the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will be very brief. Number one is to thank our chairman, the chairman of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, the member for Tharaka, Honorable George Kitonga Murugara, for good stewardship of the committee while considering and vetting the nominees. Number two, Mr. Speaker, Parliament would recall that while the Public Benefits Organization Act was enacted in 2013, it was only operationalized recently in the year 2024. And if my memory serves me right, this will be the first tribunal under the Public Benefits Organizations Act. And therefore, it behoves upon the membership, the chairperson and the membership, to set the record straight because they are the trade setters. I am very pleased with the persons nominated to be chairperson and members because, as Senior Counsel Otiendo Molo has said, they are very qualified. Number two, they are a good mix in terms of gender. For the first time, the women gender is more than the male gender in the committee. And number two, they are also well balanced in terms of generational equity. There are those who are of age and there are those who are young, in order to bring the different experiences so that young people in this country also know that they can sit in tribunals, they can sit in public bodies for as long as they are qualified. With those remarks, I want to wish them well, and I want to request members to approve this afternoon, to approve these nominees so that this sector can have a tribunal that can hear and determine disputes that may arise from the Act and then appeals coming from the sector. Mr. Speaker, I think it is also important for us to remember that the objective of the Public Benefits Organization Act is to create a self-regulating public benefits sector. And for that purpose, there is also the risk, because it is self-regulating, of non-disclosure. And there is also an overriding objective that the organizations, which initially were primarily non-governmental organizations, also promote good governance and accountability. And as you have seen, also part of promoting good governance is to ensure that they are not used for proliferation of illicit flows of finances that may be used to harm either the security or other aspects of our national economy. And therefore, as disputes arise, we want to urge those nominated to put the country first, to know that even the organizations that are funding our public benefits organizations are doing so because of their own interest. They are not doing so because of our national interest at all times. And to be careful that such that public benefits organizations are not used to advance the interest of other nations to the detriment of our national interest. I support.
Madam Mukami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the nominees after going through their names and after hearing from the chair. They all have what it takes. And Chairman, I want also to thank the Chairman because I can see the women are very well represented. We also have youth there. Generally, they have what it takes. And you know, NGOs are really good and they normally serve us very well, especially in my county. I've seen them helping people living with disability, women, and youth. I hope they are going to deliver as we expect them to do, and I support.
Madam Wako, Naomi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also confirm my support to the nominees. Honorable Speaker, the nominees who are appointed to the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal are well considered. I have gone through the report. I have also seen that they all qualify for the positions. The members of that committee have done good work, and I also want to congratulate the committee members for that. I also want to tell the nominees, and especially the chair, Eunice Adoyo Atieno Arwa, when they take up their responsibility and when they are sworn in, they should represent the entire country, and they should also represent the interest of everybody, because now that they are there on behalf of all of us, on behalf of all Kenyans, representing the entire nation. I also want to say that, yes, we are going far, because this government is putting a lot of attention to nominating the qualified people for different positions and also representing the entire nation. Mine is just to say, yes, I support, and I support the motion, and let them serve the country in the best possible way, as if there is no tomorrow, because we have a lot of responsibilities. We need to give our best to the country, because this is the time that God has given all of us to serve this country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I support.
Honorable members, I get the feeling that there's a concurrence. Oh, yes, you want to contribute. You had not put in your card. Anyway, proceed, Honorable.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I support this nomination of the tribunal members. Legally, this is a tribunal which can be able to sort out a number of disputes instead of escalating them in the wrong forums. And looking at the characters of the people who have been picked as members of this tribunal, Speaker, you see that they are the most qualified people whom we can say that they are fit to be...
They are not characters. They are eminent personalities.
The personalities. If looking at the even characters, when it's put in the right word.
Honorable member.
Speaker, when it's put in the right perspective, it's just describing a person. It's not an insult, neither and the meaning, but it's just a way of describing a people. But I'm saying these nominees of ours, they are the best whom we can say that they are best placed at this time to be where they are positioned now. Having been